Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So obviously, as the market is kind of, having a nice little field day today, we are addressing more Hbar FUD. That's right. A lot of people are still talking down on Hbar, saying, yeah, although there's no insider trading, what is up with the price of Hbar? It's, one of the worst performers. It's this, it's that, whatever the case may be, right? Well, let's address a few things. So first off, let's talk about Hedera. So the biggest concern to me, and again, I'm not biased. I could talk about what I don't like about, Hbar as well. I just don't like the unlocking of tokens. I think that there's been way too much unlocking of tokens compared to what was estimated in the white papers, but of course, I'm not going to hate on it. It is what it is. I can't control that, but I will say this. When we are talking about the success of this token, it's not going to be the idea of circulating supply or anything like that. We go back to 2017, 2018, XRP had a lot more circulating supply in it, and of course, it did a massive run from like 22 cents to $3.84. Anything is possible. This is crypto. But what I'm actually talking about right now is the severity of us dropping in price, right? We go back on the 1 year span and we could see the all-time high back here in September, and now we're kind of down to these levels, almost going back as far as the summer lows. I want to say almost all of the top tier gems have tested these summer lows on this massive drop down on Bitcoin. It was a slow bleed starting from November all the way to around this point. Our slow bleed started going back to, September. So yeah, we had, a little bit of some bad luck in that area, but it is the market structure. Now, I did say today I was talking about XRP and I was talking about Hbar, and I said, it really seems like Hbar is one of the most hated tokens in this space. Laugh out loud. Don't know if it's the frustration with price action or the relentless unresearched FUD that gets spread around, but it just reminds me of XRP during 2017 and 2018. For those individuals that, weren't around during this time, XRP was one of the most hated assets during that time as well. It was, really kind of disregarded in terms of its price action. It really wasn't moving in price. I could show you guys that real quick. So, the alt market was doing crazy moves during 2017 and 2018, specifically during the summertime of 2017. But you guys do see that we topped out a little bit during, of course, May of 2017. We had this massive, correction during May as well, where we came back down to like 20.5 cents, and it was a slow bleed. We came down all the way to almost 15 cents, kind of traded sideways for the most part. At around like 15 to 20 some cents. Still, massive sideways trading. And it kept like this from, May all the way to around December. So it was about 7 months of us just trading sideways. Then the real price action started. Boom. We spiked all the way up to about almost $1, 86.5 cents. Trading sideways a little bit. Again, $1.13. Trading, we had a little bit of a pullback. Then we skyrocketed to $2 plus. The reason why I'm saying this is because during this entire time, XRP was being disregarded. Oh, it's done. All these other altcoins are outperforming it. It's garbage, blah, blah, blah. We're still seeing that narrative being pushed right now around it's never going to go to $1 again, the SEC, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the narrative in this market will play against price action. Like, for example, if something is not moving in a massive upward trend and it's not having massive candles, that it's just going parabolic, people are going to hate it, right? People want to get rich quick. This is money. Finance is involved. When money is involved, guess what? At the end of the day, people just get frustrated. They get upset. They want to, talk down on things. It's totally fine. I get it. But I really wish that there was significant research done when there is talks around things like this. Because even when we are talking about the price action on Hbar, let's look at some of the top tier assets in the top 10 list. So here's ADA. ADA had a massive 76.29 drop in price off of those major lows, which were just recently made, by the way, going back to February 24th. We are currently up on ADA about 29.64%. Luna. Now, Luna is a little bit different, but we had a drop of about 58.99%. Again, off of those lows, we are up significantly because this started to actually break out, and it did about 114% of an increase in price. every altcoin is different. All these moves are not orchestrated to, move the entire market with it. And then of course, Ethereum was down about 56.36% off of those major lows. We are up currently about 38.82%. Now, Hbar, right? Hbar, had a correction of about 68.21%. Off of these lows, we are not up significantly. I would say that. I will admit it. We are only up about 16.6%. I get that the recovery stasis is not that great compared to most altcoins, but I want to, remind you that the correction on this of about 68.21% goes as far back as September. A few of these, in terms of their corrections, go back to September as well. We do see the topping point for ADA was back in September 2nd, 2021 to be specific. Hbar, we topped out around September 16th, and we still have not recovered fully. And in fact, neither has ADA. ADA's price action right now is still, around the summer lows. In fact, the summer lows were around 99, cents. So right now, currently on ADA, it's still in the same structure as Hbar. Pretty funny, to say the least, when you look at things like that and kind of compare and contrast. Luna went back down to, of course, its major lows, going as far back as November. And I know that Luna is, one of the assets that had its massive breakout event during, of course, the summer to around like December timeframe. This is when it topped out in December, so this is still in a nice little bull run pattern. But I'm trying to compare and contrast to you guys the idea that all of these assets are completely different. Even, XRP, right? XRP had its topping point a little, earlier in the year. We topped out at around April. Okay, imagine holding, XRP and complaining and saying that, oh, it's going nowhere because, again, we topped out in April, haven't hit, a high since then, and at those major lows, so our major lows actually came during the summertime at about a 75.92% correction. Again, off of these lows over here, it's about a 72 overall correction as well. If we're going off of the topping point going back as far as September, so here's the September high. We're still down significantly of about, almost a 61.5% correction fully. Now, this has recovered a little bit, nothing too crazy, but it is up about 50% from those lows. All of these altcoins are completely different. But again, XRP is still at levels that we've seen going back as far as May. All of these assets are still in the same structure. Even Ethereum, I should mind you, is still at a significant point where we are still around the point of September in terms of price action, and even going as far back as August. So when we are saying, hey, is Hbar, underperforming? Not technically, okay? And overall, this can still have a massive bull run. I've always said $3 to $6. I don't say that because I, am biased and I want it to go to $3 to $6. No, I've always said that this at the high end, so let's go to $3, right? This would be about a 1,278% move in price. And when we were talking about those fib outreaches, we could see where $3 would put us right between the 4618 and, of course, the last fib outreach. This is nothing too concerning at all, in my opinion, and this is on the macro fib level, by the way. If we are going off of the current structure that we are in, I could actually show you guys that real quick. So when we were talking about the fib outreach from our current all-time high to our lows that we just printed on the chart, let's go check out those fib outreaches. We could see where, of course, this puts us. So this is a little bit higher than most, but again, we could see that clear picture where this is actually between the 4618 of about $2.50 to about $4.50. Or actually, no, that's off of the macro view. Sorry, I got confused there. So again, it's still between the 4618 and, of course, the topping point of the fib outreach. The overall structure of this will continue to range on, but for the most part, when we are talking about the fifth wave for the entire market, more so talking about Bitcoin and alts, this could reach out to even higher fib levels if we are talking about a massive move throughout the alts, which, by the way, if you guys missed this chart from yesterday, so shout out to El Crypto Pro for this. but this has given us a little bit of a better picture on, of course, altcoins. This is the altcoin market cap. This is excluding Bitcoin by itself. So when we are talking about this, the second impulse wave, so we had that first impulse wave during, of course, June. This was starting in, well, actually, it's technically going back as far as like 2020 itself. This is like the beginning of January in 2020 where we had that massive drop in price because of the March of 2020 dropping point during COVID. And of course, here's that massive impulse wave to the topping point trading sideways. And this is about to break out. If we do have a massive breakout event, this could lead us to, anywhere between, $2 trillion to as high as like $10 trillion for the altcoin market. That would be absolutely massive. Do I think that we're going to go that high this bull run? Not technically. I'm more so dead set on $5 to $7 trillion for the global crypto market cap. But even though, that's a ton of money flowing throughout this market, and we will definitely be watching Hbar during that time because a lot of the, the assets in this, market have their massive parabolic runs during the last 10% of the bull run. XRP was actually one of them. I've showed you guys this multiple times going back onto the Bitstamp chart. Let's go back to 2017 and 2018 real quick. So again, a lot of these altcoins move extremely fast during the last point of the bull run. This was 208 days of pure consolidation, sideways momentum, very, very frustrating price action, especially when you're comparing it to most of the market during this time. But again, during the last 10% of the bull run, this is, Bitcoin topped out around December 15th of this time. So let's go back to December 15th. So right here is where Bitcoin topped out, right? Again, trading sideways, last 10%. Last 10% of the bull run. This is where all alts topped out. But this did a major run. I mean, even off of those major lows going back as far as, December, to the topping point, this did a 1,600% increase in price. This is also why I do think that this 1,200% increase in price could actually have a little bit more steam left in it if we repeat the 1,600% run, which I'm just saying that just in general, right? This puts us right below $4. I am totally fine with $3+ being, of course, the topping point for Hbar. This is Hbar's first bull run, so overall, I'm not going to be too upset about this. But when we are talking about everything happening within this market, I am going off of the overall market conditions, comparing it to most altcoins and seeing if, hey, are we actually underperforming? Are we, not having an incredible time right now in the market for, Hbar? And technically, comparing this to all other assets, we are still in the same structure. So I don't understand why everyone is getting a little bit upset or frustrated. Like, I totally get it. I understand that, we're here to make massive amounts of money. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be getting too concerned at all on the price action on an altcoin, comparing it to everything else in this market, and they all look pretty much the same. And I get that their percentage gains are a little bit different. Even, for example, ADA will go off of the lows going as far back as like September 2020. So the percentage gains off of this were about 5,660%. That's going from these lows to the all-time highs. Even Hbar, though, I want to remind you guys that some of those people that got into this market, maybe they didn't get in early enough. But if we go off of those lows, to the topping point, so 1 second, even though this still hasn't hit its full-on all-time high, we are still up 1,900% from those lows. And I tell you guys this because although it's time in the market, right, it's always better than timing the market, because again, time in the market will allow for you to have better ROI. You'll see massive gains as well. Like ADA, this didn't happen in overnight. This was a long process. Those individuals that made a ton of money off of a lot of these assets had a lot of patience. They had to wait. I mean, even if we are going off of these lows back here, I mean, you're looking at, 345 days, almost one whole year. And it's almost been one whole year since I've purchased Hbar, and I'm still not really frustrated at all with the price action. The only thing that I'm frustrated with is the token unlocks. And that's the only thing that I'm upset about. But besides that, I'm not going to sit, here and say Hbar should be in the top 10 right now. It should be in the top 5. No, Because first off, do I believe that it should be? Yeah, but I know that at some point in time it will be. So with that being said, I hope that you guys got a little bit of a clarity on this, comparing it to other assets. And I get it, the price action isn't the best, the ROI isn't the best right now, but again, I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to say HBAR is not going to have an incredible time in this market, because it will eventually. We got to understand that there's over 18,000 assets within the space. HBAR is not the only asset that is not, performing greatly. There's other assets as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.